somebody that looks like me, but I swear to God, I hope he doesn't act like me. Because if he does,
How you doing, Mark? Good to see you.
Good to see you. Life good?
Right on his side.
Okay.
You get that side.
That's her good side.
Yeah, that's what she told me. She told me I should.
You know, I would never, ever say anything
that?
like.
It's kind of like does this make me look fat? That's like a dangerous question.
You know,
is this my good side? You know what I mean? It's just dangerous.
I've always believed in honesty on that sort of thing.
Really? So
which
when your
has
wife asks you that,
which has never ever scored me any points.
That's right.
Ever.
And that's why you're still married, right?
Yes. Yes.
Yes. All right, we've got Mark Wills here. I'm so excited to talk to you because you've been around many years.
I
but
have. Are you calling me old?
No,
Is
no.
that what you're doing? Are you calling me old?
No, I did.
You did.
I did
You
not say
said-
that. No, I didn't use that word.
You
I
said
did
you
not
have
use
been
that word.
around for many years.
That could mean 10.
Okay, go ahead.
7.
Go ahead.
But anyway, we haven't seen you in a while.
It has been a couple years since I've been here.
What's been going on?
Well, I took a little downtime. You know, I'm a daddy. I've got kids.
How old are your kids now, by the way?
My oldest just reached the point of being a disaster. She hit
a teenager.
13.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. She hit 13, and then I have an 8-year-old, which actually still loves me. We were laying in the bed this morning. We were all laying there watching Say Yes to the Dress, which
geez.
might I say, I've had to really get in touch with because I have a house full of girls.
Uh-huh.
So Say Yes to the Dress and the DC Cupcakes, all that, all that stuff.
Right.
Those are the shows we watch. And my 8-year-old rolls over this morning, and they're watching something, and she goes, "Daddy, just so you know, I am never getting married."
Wow.
And I looked at her and I said, "Why would you say that?" And she goes, "Because I love you and I want to stay with you." And I looked at my 13-year-old and I said, "See, right there. I would do anything in the world for her at this given point, and you not so much." No, not so much.
You're a mean dad, but that's hilarious.
Well, hey, look, once again, honesty is the best policy. And if you want to play the game, if you want to play the game with me about not loving me, I can play the game with you about not loving you back. Period.
Oh, that's too funny. So last night you played the Opry.
I did play the Grand Ole Opry. Had a great time. I love. Well, look at my hat. I'm wearing my Grand Ole Opry hat today.
I love that.
Yes, I love. Probably more than any other place that we get to play in Nashville. I love playing the Grand Ole Opry because I love the tradition. I love the history.
Yeah.
I love and we came home to the Ryman Auditorium this weekend. This is the first weekend back. When it gets to November and the CMAs come to town, used to they would set the Opry, the Opry House up. That's where they did the television broadcast for the CMAs.
Right.
Well, now they have the Rockettes and they have all these other shows that they use the Opry House for. So we come back to the Ryman, and I love it. I think it's the neatest place in the world. I think it's haunted, and it's haunted with the ghost of country music from the past, and I just think
that's awesome.
Awesome.
So talk about your project here for Coming Home.
Crazy Being Home?
Crazy Being,
yes.
yeah, and because it is a project for veterans.
It is not just a song.
Yeah.
It is a complete project that we're doing to help our warriors who are having an issue with post-traumatic stress, for TBI.
Which they still are. I mean, I think people get the idea, oh, they're just, in Iraq, it's not that big a deal. It is a big deal, and they still suffer from that.
I can tell you that I have friends who are at the highest echelon of our military, who are the guys that you never hear about, who are the guys that do the majority of the things that you hear about.
Right.
And they have issues.
Right.
With it. And if those people who are the highest trained guys are having issues with things that they've had to deal with or things that they maybe haven't dealt with, and maybe that's the problem.
Right.
If they're dealing with it, everybody's dealing with it. And here's the thing. Here's the thing about post-traumatic stress and TBI is that if I'm married to you and I have an issue, it's not my issue.
Right.
It's our issue.
Right.
You have to deal with it too. And if we have kids, they have to deal
Absolutely.
with it. And that's what we're trying to help out with more than anything is to help our warriors who are having this issue with post-traumatic stress and traumatic brain injury and stuff like that, so that their families so that we don't have other generations of children who grow up with that same problem.
And the one thing you have been doing, you have performed so much for the troops in the past few years. Thank you for doing that. That's awesome, and spreading the word that we support them and love them, and that's awesome that you do
We've
that.
made 10 trips just to Iraq and Afghanistan and Kuwait, and that doesn't include the stuff we've done stateside.
Right.
And that's why we felt like, with this song and with the direction that we were going, it felt like a really nice fit to be able to do something for our warriors that's not necessarily a show over there. It's something that brings it back home, that we can do for them stateside to let them know how much we appreciate them and their sacrifice.
All right. Thank you, Mark. Thank you so much for stopping by, and good to see you again.
My pleasure. Always good to see you guys.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And I saw that Warner Brothers wrote that song. I think they're great.
They wrote it with Chris.